1994, a Kurdish shepherd was walking a hillside in southeastern Turkey. He wasn't looking for anything. He stubbed his toe on a rock. That rock turned out to be the top of a carved stone pillar, one of hundreds, buried deliberately, precisely, under thousands of tons of soil. What he found that day didn't just rewrite history. It shattered the timeline we were all taught to believe. 9600 B.C. That's not a typo. Here's the problem. According to everything historians knew, everything they still teach in schools, human beings in 9600 BC were supposed to be primitive. No cities, no agriculture, no organized religion, certainly no monumental architecture. So why did someone build this? And why? Why did they bury it? To understand what we're looking at, you need a comparison. Stonehenge, built around 3000 BC, regarded as one of the greatest achievements of prehistoric man. It took generations, thousands of people, and it is extraordinary. The Egyptian pyramids, 2500 BC, a civilization so advanced that we are still arguing about how they built them. Göbekli Tepe is older than both, by thousands of years. We're talking about a structure conceived and executed when humans, by every accepted model, should not have been capable of conceiving or executing it. The pillars weigh up to 20 tons. Some stand 6 meters tall. They are covered in intricate, deliberate carvings of animals, symbols, and figures that researchers are still decoding today. There are more than 200 pillars, arranged in rings, oriented with geometric precision. And the people who built it had no metal tools, no wheels, no written language, at least none we've found. So, how? That's not even the question that keeps archaeologists awake at night. The question is, why did they bury it? Here's what the excavation revealed, and what almost nobody talks about. Göbekli Tepe was not abandoned. It was not destroyed by war. It was not swallowed by an earthquake or flood. It was buried, on purpose. The people who built it gathered thousands of tons of flint chips, animal bones and soil, and they systematically, carefully, intentionally buried every single structure they had spent generations creating. Why would anyone do that? Researchers have proposed theories. It was a ritual act, a ceremonial ending, like closing a chapter. But think about what that means. These weren't scattered hunter-gatherers who just moved on. This was organized. This was coordinated. Someone gave an order and an entire people obeyed, covering their most sacred site, sealing it from the world above. They didn't want anyone to find it. And for 11,000 years, they succeeded. Klaus Schmidt, the German archaeologist who dedicated his life to this site, said something before he died that has never left me. He said, Göbekli Tepe may not be the beginning of what we're looking for. It may be the end. An end of what? Here's where the story gets uncomfortable. The standard model of history, the one in every textbook, tells us human civilization began around 5,000 years ago. Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley, writing, cities, governance, the birth of the world we know. Göbekli Tepe doesn't fit that model at all. Because if a civilization capable of this kind of organized, symbolic architectural achievement existed in 9600 BC, then what happened between then and 5000 BC? That's a 4,000-year gap. 4,000 years of nothing, or 4,000 years of something. Something that was lost. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Göbekli Tepe is not alone. In the last 20 years, similar structures have been emerging, some excavated, some still buried, across Turkey, across the Middle East, across sites that align suspiciously well along ancient astronomical lines, and almost all of them date to the same period. The period that follows immediately follows one of the most catastrophic events in Earth's recorded prehistory. 12,900 years ago, give or take, something hit the Earth. Not a metaphor, not a legend. Science has confirmed it. A comet, or a cluster of fragments, struck multiple points across the northern hemisphere. The impact triggered what's known as the Younger Dryas, a sudden, violent return to near-ice age conditions that lasted over 1,000 years. Temperatures plummeted. Megafauna went extinct. The mammoth, the saber-tooth, gone. Coastlines shifted. Ice melted, then reformed. Floods of a scale almost incomprehensible. If there was a civilization before that event, a civilization capable of the coordination and symbolic sophistication we see at Göbekli Tepe, the Younger Dryas would have erased almost every trace of it. Almost. Because someone survived. And the first thing they did, the very first thing, was build. Not farms, not cities. A temple with carvings that some researchers believe are not decoration, but a warning. There is one pillar at Göbekli Tepe that has become the center of the most extraordinary debate in modern archaeology. Pillar 43, known as the Vulture Stone. Carved into it, a scene, a headless human, vultures, scorpions, a circle, a bag held by a figure with no face. For decades, it was interpreted as religious symbolism, a death ritual, perhaps, an underworld scene. Then, in 2017, a team of researchers from the University of Edinburgh proposed something different. They suggested the carvings on Pillar 43 are a star map, and not just any star map. A star map encoding the date of a specific event, a comet impact that they calculate corresponds precisely to the Younger Dryas boundary, 12,900 years ago. If they're right, and not everyone agrees, but the mathematics are difficult to dismiss, then the people who built Göbekli Tepe weren't just building a temple. They were leaving a message, a record of the catastrophe, a warning to whoever came after. Written in stone, buried for safekeeping, waiting to be found. Here is what we know for certain. Göbekli Tepe is real. Its age is confirmed. Its complexity is undeniable. Here is what we cannot explain. How a pre-agricultural society organized the labor, the engineering, the symbolic vocabulary required to build it. Who gave the order to bury it? What, exactly, the carvings mean? And here is what frightens historians. Not about the past, but about right now. We have only excavated less than 5% of this site. Less than 5%. Beneath those hills, beneath that carefully placed soil, there is more. There has always been more. We just haven't been willing to look. Or maybe, and I want you to sit with this, we haven't been willing to find it. Because what Göbekli Tepe suggests is not just that our history is longer than we thought. It suggests that something came before us, something organized, something sophisticated, something with the capacity to build monuments, encode knowledge, and plan for a future they would never live to see. And it was erased, not by time, by a sky that fell. What else is buried? If this is the kind of question that keeps you up at night, subscribe. We go deeper every week.